Hey there, all you weather geeks and even you non-weather geeks who happen to be tuning in today. Welcome to Weather for Weather Geeks on this Wednesday. It's November the 12th, and it finally feels like it. After 68 degrees yesterday, as advertised, the cold front went through last night. We had a few showers, and now we are back into the 30s. It's a good 30 degrees colder than this same time yesterday. 37, I should say, wishful thinking. 37 is the official 2 p.m. number at the Youngstown Warren Airport, 37 in Newcastle, about 36 to 38 over towards I-77 this afternoon. We got a thick blanket of clouds. Yesterday, I thought we might see some sunny breaks here and there. There's a few down to the west of I-77 and even more down towards the Dayton area. But yeah, it doesn't look like a lot of those are going to get in here. So it's just kind of a slate gray overcast out there this afternoon. Then the clouds bank up against the ridge line here. If you're not real familiar with the topography of New York and Pennsylvania and West Virginia, the crest of the Appalachian Mountains runs kind of right in through here. And with a west wind going across the crest of those mountains and then downsloping, we call it, when the wind comes off the top of the mountain and descends, that dries the air mass out. And so the clouds kind of scour out to the east of the spine of the Appalachian Mountains. So it's a beautiful day in Harrisburg, PA, Philadelphia as well. Look at the warm weather. They're having the weather over there that we had yesterday. But yeah, we're in the 30s this afternoon, but we are snow-free for the time being. Let's shut off the satellite here and temperatures as well briefly. There's a scattering of flurries and snow showers around the Midwest. Some of this is radar ground clutter, but some of it is legitimate. So it's a wintry afternoon, and you bring up the overall temperature contours here across the country. And a lot of cold colors once again today. This is a map that is much more reminiscent of late December or January. Earlier this morning, we had temperatures out here in Wyoming and Montana way below zero, in the teens below zero, and they've only warmed up to about zero in the highest elevations out here in the mountainous areas in Wyoming and down into Colorado as well. And no surprise if you've been watching my videos or paying any attention to the weather whatsoever recently. This is a harsh air mass for November, and it's going nowhere in a hurry. Our weather will not change for the better in terms of the temperature for maybe 10 days. So we're in this for the long haul. And of course, the natural question when we get into a pattern like this is, hey, what about snow? We going to see any? What's the deal with the snow as we go through time? And well, the answer to that is in the short term, and I mean the rest of today and tonight, we don't have anything to worry about. And even tomorrow, for the vast majority of our viewing area, I really don't think we have anything to worry about. Let's take a look at the NAM model then for tomorrow afternoon. Oops. Get into tomorrow afternoon here, and there's going to be just kind of a scattering of lake-enhanced snow showers around. Let's actually see if we can bring up the higher resolution NAM. Doesn't look like it wants to load. All right, well, the bark is worse than the bite on this model. It's a coarser, lower resolution model, so it doesn't do a great job of depicting things. But I do think that there'll be some west to east oriented lake effect snow bands tomorrow into tomorrow evening, and that'll dump some accumulations up in the lake, northern Geauga, northern half of Ashtabula, heading over to Erie, PA, and into southwest New York as well. And flurries will try to get down into parts of our viewing area tomorrow. You're going to see a few snowflakes, especially if you live north of 224, but I don't expect anything to stick during the course of tomorrow, with the exception of perhaps the far, far reaches of northern Trumbull County. Friday is a little bit different. I'll skip ahead here to Friday. And the wind direction starts to change a little bit on Friday, steering some of these snow showers a little farther to the south. It's a little more of a northwest to southeast orientation on Friday. And 2 days out, it's hard to say which backyards are going to get a little accumulation and which aren't, but certainly your odds are higher the farther north you are, that you start to see the snow starting to stick to things, especially non-paved surfaces. Thursday night, heading into Friday, parts of Friday night as well. The farther south you are, this is mostly a flurry event with perhaps some candy coatings. So, if I had to, take a shot real quickly on accumulations, here's a blank Ohio PA map, and Youngstown is right here. Sorry, the counties aren't real easy to see. Youngstown's right there. Up here's Trumbull County, of course. We're probably going to say something like the northern half of Trumbull County between Thursday through Saturday morning for that long period, a 36-hour period, say, 1, 2, maybe 3, northern half of Trumbull. And then you get down into southern Trumbull, into Mahoning, into Lawrence counties, and this is probably a candy coating to at most an inch. And I think most places will be closer to the coating than the inch. So again, this is all added up between Thursday Thursday night, Friday night. It's a 2-day thing, and the farther south you are, the better chance you have of getting that coating Friday as opposed to Thursday. Thursday, I think it's really just flurries, but Friday, a couple of these random bands might, drop enough on you in Youngstown and Austintown and Boardman, et cetera, that you might have to brush off your car. There might be a little candy coating on grassy surfaces, that kind of thing. But anyone who gets 2 or 3 inches out of this, I think will be pretty far up to the north, up in northern Trumbull, extreme northwestern Mercer as well. And then up in the traditional lake, the snow belts, northern Geauga, Ashtabula Lake, someone up there is going to get probably 3 to 6 inches of snow out of this during the 2-day event, Thursday into Friday night. So they'll get a pretty decent dumping of snow, but that's going to be well to the north of our viewing area here on 21 News. All right, so the weekend then, here's a look at Saturday morning. Still maybe a lingering flurry or two, but the flow is going to shut off during the course of Saturday afternoon, shutting down the lake effect. It's actually a little bubble of high pressure that's going to build in. So Saturday afternoon, probably still fairly cloudy, but not bad. No flurries to worry about or anything like that Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. Here's a look at Sunday, and we got a little wave coming across the lakes. This is a front that'll probably produce some flurries and snow showers on Sunday. It's only Wednesday, but, I would say that some candy coatings are possible out of this Sunday. We'll fine-tune that forecast. The more significant system, one we're going to have to keep a closer eye on, I think, is Sunday night into Monday, perhaps Monday night if some of the slower models are right. So Sunday through Monday night as a zone, we're going to have to watch this wave of low pressure scooting by to our south and east. We're going to be, looks like at this point, on the fringes of this, but this could be kind of a quick hitter that brings us some modest accumulations sometime between Sunday night and Monday night, somewhere in that time frame, especially from Youngstown south and east, it looks like. The farther north and west away from Youngstown you are, the lower the chances are during that period. Now, I'm not going to start speculating on accumulations at this point. It's only Wednesday after all, but this has the potential, if the track ends up being somewhat favorable, to give us a quick hitter of enough to maybe shovel, a couple inches, something like that. I'm not going to get real specific. Again, this is day 5, even into day 6 at this point. But I wanted to put it on your radar that sometime between Sunday night and Monday night, this is not lake effect. This would be more of a general snow. It's a possibility. Shifting back to the near term, just real quickly, a little bit of the science behind our snow forecast idea for the next couple of days. Here's the SREF model, short range ensemble forecast, showing you snow accumulations going out through Saturday evening. What you're looking at here is 21 what we call members of the model. The model is, the base model is tweaked 21 different times and then run 21 times. And you get kind of what we call an envelope of solutions based on those tweaks. Each tweak sends the model in somewhat of a different direction and a different idea. And each of these lines represents one of those tweaks. The legend over here on the left, I apologize if it's hard to read, but anyway, the member with the most snow at the Youngstown Warren Airport in southeastern Trumbull through Saturday has about 3 inches. And then some members are down here closer to 0 inches. And the mean, or the average, again, at the Youngstown Warren Airport is at about, an inch to inch and a quarter. So that goes along with our idea that if you live in southern Trumbull County, maybe southwestern Mercer County, you could get an inch or so out of this. And then the farther south away from that area, the south of I-80, coating at most an inch. And then the farther north amounts will get a little bit higher. Again, that's for the period taking us into tomorrow through Saturday. All right, quick look at the longer range. Here's the upper level wind flow and overall a snapshot of the upper levels of the atmosphere. Of course, our huge ridge up here in the Northwest Territories of Canada and Alaska. That huge ridge, then downstream a deep trough. Again, if you've watched me before, the atmosphere behaves a lot like water. It's a fluid. It's an invisible fluid, but it's a fluid. And just like crests and valleys or troughs on waves on the ocean, that's the way the atmosphere works as well. You got a crest, and then immediately downwind of the crest or downstream of the crest, there's usually a trough. So that's what it looks like right now, and that's why it's cold. And then things are going to reload as we head into next week. Keep an eye on this area right up here in central Canada, that closed area of low pressure, and a lot of people, of course, are going to start calling it the polar vortex again. We won't get into that, but early next week, that wobbles far enough south that a real intense area of cold air is coming down early next week. If you think it's cold out today, wait till early next week. We're talking 20s for highs for a couple of days. All right, that's the 10-minute mark. I'll shut up. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. I'll see you tomorrow on Weather for Weather Geeks.